Hey, BassGeek here, and this bait has probably got better action than a paddle tail. You can fish it fast or slow, you can fish it through cover or open water, and you can fish it shallow or deep. If you can't catch bass on this, you might as well quit. All right, geeks, so this bait came out in June. It's July now, 2024, by the way, if you're watching later. The first 3 casts I made with this bait, I caught a bass and in open water. And like I said, that's what's great about this bait. It's really been designed to be able to fish through cover. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it works in open water. And the reason why I think it does is because it's a soft bait. Open, clear water, which is what I fish most of the time. It's a soft bait that's got the action of a multi-joint swim bait, but it's a straight tail. So it's got better action than a paddle tail. But there's some tricks to it. We'll talk about that when I show you how to rig it. Geeks, I always use the Byzantine knot. I'm in open water, and you can tell the tag end is coming out the top. Like I always say, if you haven't seen it, I'll put a video at the end that shows me tying the San Diego jam knot in one of these videos. But if you're fishing this through grass, all you have to do, instead of just coming out the top loop, you go down and come out the bottom loop. The tag end will come out the bottom, and it's not going to snag up and hold grass on it too. This is the 7-inch armor shad from Damiki. You geeks know I've been throwing Damiki armor shads. I make a 5-inch, which is a great soft jerk bait and has some great action to hit. I throw the 3-inch and have thrown the 3-inch forever and a day for Damiki rigs, jig head minnows, strolling, whatever the crap you want to call it. It's a Damiki rig. Now, if you're fishing this shallow through cover, a 5/0 hook. You don't want it coming way back because you're going to hurt the action of it. And this thing has got a great kind of S action as it comes through the water. So a 5/0 hook at max. I do fish it with a belly weight. I think this is a 3/8 ounce. And the reason why is sometimes I like to get it down just a little bit deeper. If you're really fishing it up super shallow through weeds, but some sort of 5/0 heavy gauge hook if you're not going to put a weight on it. You're going to want to fish this fast. I'll show you the retrieve in just a minute. Now, anytime you rig it, you're going to want to rig it. If you rig a belly hook, it has to be rigged extremely straight to get the action. If not, it's going to roll one way or the other. That's also the same with a jig head. So you can put it on a jig head. Again, a 5/0 hook. You don't want it coming out way back. And I think this is a Cumberland Pro lures that I was using earlier. Pretty much any will work. If I can't find this, I'll put a link to a comparable one that you can use in the description below. But again, this is a 5/0 hook. I think this is a 3/8 ounce head. The next way to rig this thing, and this is one that I love, and it's on a pulse head swimmer. You want to talk about some incredible action with this. And this is a 1-ounce version. I do recommend the pulse because it's got a stiffer lip on it. You want a stiffer lip because this, when you're fishing it fast, the lip is going to give out. This allows me to get it deep. And you want to talk about great action. This, you put it on this, the combination of the two is incredible. Now these are extremely soft and you're going to go through them. 1 or 2 fish, you're going to go through them. You're not getting that action by it being a hard bait. And to me, you're not going to catch as many fish with a hard bait as you are this because it's not going to look as natural. Buy you some Mend It. Just put you a little bit on it, set it out. It takes about 30 seconds to dry to a minute, and you've got a brand new bait. All right, let's talk about rod, reel, and line. It is very important on this bait, depending on how you're fishing it. This is a 7/6 because I'm going to fish it in open water around ledges or bass that are suspended. It is a heavy. Probably would go with a medium heavy, but this has got a great tip on it. 1/2 to 1 1/2 ounces. This thing is heavy, but like I said, a fast action. This is a TFO Resolve bass. I've got it on a gravity, and you can see that is an 8:1 to 1. I would recommend, because you do have to fish this fast to get the action, a minimum of 7.5 to 1 for this awesome little bait. As always, this is K9 Pro 100 100% fluorocarbon, and I'm going to throw 12-pound test 90% of the time. If I'm around cover, that's definitely going up, but just remember, the higher the test, the higher in the water you're gonna keep this bait. All right, geeks, so I run off and left a bunch of the colors that they sent me. So here's, and if you wanna see the unboxing of this, make sure you stay to the end of the outro, and I'll have this because there's a ton of stuff from Damiki that I guarantee you've never heard of. That's incredible, but I'll show you all the colors now. This is the 7-inch Armor Shad, Tennessee Shad. This is Pro Blue Silver. This is Red Pro Blue Pearl, straight Pro Blue. And this is Pearl White. So like I said, you can fish this around grass, you can fish this around wood. I love it around wood. I love it in open water when there's a bunch of schools, and there's a lot of different retrieves. You know, it is a big, soft jerkbait, so you can treat it like one. But the way I like to fish it primarily is a stop and go reel pattern. So what you'll do is you'll make a cast, and I'm gonna make a cast over to a lot of stuff like all these laydowns. The other way is open schools. You know, you just cast out there, cast past them. You can either twitch it, or again, stop and go reel, depending on how, you know, shallow or how deep they are. But that's the way I love to fish it. Now, if you've got grass or you've got a lot of cover, that's really what this thing is designed to do. Around wood and pretty much anything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a long cast, I'm gonna reel it really quickly, and then I'm gonna stop. And I love the way it just dives down into the wood when it stops like that, if I'm fishing around cover. If not, I'm gonna reel it again, stop, reel it again, stop. It's a stop and go. You need to reel it quickly to get the best action out of it. The other way is just fish it like you would a jerkbait. It's just, I like to reel it a little bit and then twitch, 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 reel it a little bit, twitch, 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 twitch. That's it. When it comes to setting the hook, most of the time it's a single hook. I like to side set, just like I do with a swim bait, keep my rod tip down and winch them into the boat. And you know me, I'm boat hopping them 90% of the time. Like I said, geeks, stay after the outro. There's a link where I unbox all this Damiki stuff. You're gonna be surprised at some of the stuff that they make you don't know about. I mean, some really good stuff that I generally haven't even talked about yet, like their jerk baits. All that being said, 100% Watch Squad, you geeks know I love you. You make the channel go around. Hey, join the 100% Watch Squad. It's free. Just watch from start to finish every time a video comes out. Like it if you like it, and you geeks rock.